there, and welcome back to the Cinema Asylum Podcast Review Award. Today we are reviewing the final episode of Ahsoka Season 1.
Yes, we are.
I'm Dylan, one of the two superhero and sci-fi experts.
I am John Thompson. I am the action and animation expert.
I am Matthew, the other superhero and sci-fi expert. And this episode is sponsored by some random hot chocolate. Because we aren't actually sponsored, so please sponsor us.
Yeah, please. That'd be nice. Going into the holiday season, I dig it.
Yeah.
Well, it's about to be holiday season.
Well, we have a guest with us today. Dylan?
We do!
Yes.
Yeah.
Introduce
Hi.
yourself.
I'm Gavin. You may recognize me. Well, you won't physically recognize me, but recognize my voice from the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man episode. I was the one with the correct list on that episode.
Get the fuck out of here.
Controversy.
we done many controversies in this podcast, Gavin, so don't worry
It's
about
okay.
it.
It's okay. You guys are entitled to your wrong opinions. It's fine.
Yes.
Oh, we are getting roasted on our own podcast.
But in all seriousness, buddy, welcome back. It's good to see you again, my friend.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to talk about the last episode of the big show that we really enjoyed so far. Did it live up to the hype?
If we keep getting roasted, we might have to take them to the Mustafar and drop them in the lava.
Oh, ouch.
We're already there.
All right, as usual, we're going to do our recap, and then we'll talk about the show as a whole and see what we think of it. I'm looking at you, Dylan. Go ahead.
I know you're looking at me.
How you doing?
So, I didn't rewatch it today, so I don't have all the basic details down, so I can't do like an thorough recap. But basically, it was the culminating event of the entire season,
Yes.
where Hera and the rest of her little fleet never showed up. Let's get that out of the way, so don't expect to hear them. So that happened. Ahsoka, Ezra, and Sabine were all, trying to plan out what they were going to do next and everything. And then their location was picked up by Thrawn's team. So they sent out like 2 TIE fighters, I think, and then they just went and basically bombed them. But that was after their ship was having trouble getting off the ground. So Sabine basically hotwired it with Hu Yang, gave it one last push, and took both of them out with the wings of the ship.
So I guess I was tied after that.
Get the fuck off this podcast.
Matthew, we're not doing puns when we're doing our TV show episodes.
Get the fuck out of here.
Stop me.
They
I
just-
showed you the fucking water gun that I'm going to fucking use on you guys.
they just said
It
a wing-
looks like it's going to fucking hurt.
We're going to get all wet.
You always do.
Gavin is the only one in
That's
the
John's
podcast that
department.
hasn't even done a bad pun.
That's 'cause
No,
I'm
he has-
He has a
incapable of bad
perfect
puns.
score of 0.
No, that's false.
I'm incapable of bad puns.
John-
They're all good.
John, you have more in the bank than he does, but he is on the board.
I don't remember what he said.
I don't either, but it's on there. Anyway, back to the
That just means that
recap.
people are gonna have to go back and watch that Spider-Man episode.
Yeah,
Everyone-
yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, true.
I think you got like 2 or 3 on the board, Gavin.
Oh, I'm sure.
I think.
I'm sure.
But back to the recap. That's what was going on. Morgana Elsbeth got promoted basically to like full-fledged Night Sister. She got the blade of the grandmother. Was that
The
was
flame
that-
sword, that's all I know.
I'm trying to remember what they called it. I'm pretty sure it was the blade of the grandmother. I think. Regardless, she got promoted to basically full-time Night Sisterhood. It wasn't just a little diddle on the top of her widow's peak, but she got like full. She got full makeup. And they were like, oh well, since our TIE fighters are down, like we're going to be assaulted from the ground. Hail fire around this entire fucking tower. Make sure they don't get here. Surprise, surprise, they got there.
Of course.
Yeah.
Plot consistency
Yeah.
and plot convenience.
Well, like they were. I found it interesting because during that moment when they're all like racing towards the temple, towards the door that we had seen Balin and Shin Hati leave earlier in the season, like 2 episodes before, when we saw that, they were both Ahsoka and Ezra were trying to lift the door, and she told Sabine to help out. So she like reached out her arm the way that she's been doing this entire fucking season, and she was trying to help. It's like, oh, little kid, oh, you're helping. They all got inside. They were met with stormtroopers, the night troopers. Killed them all. They turned into zombies, which fucking awesome. I was expecting that shit. I'm pretty sure they were that way the entire fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and then they just had to race through the complex while Thrawn was like, it's time for us to get the fuck out of here. Like,
Yeah.
we gotta fucking go before they get up here and get on this fucking ship.
To quote you, let's go.
Yeah. They got all the way up the tower. Again, surprise, surprise. And when they got all the way up the tower, they were met by Morgana. They were met by Morgan. Morgan was fighting Ahsoka. Ezra Sabine went up. They started fighting zombie death troopers, which that was fucking cool.
That was the best saber duel of the season, though.
Serious, it was. It was fucking awesome.
Oh man, the entire action in that
Yeah.
episode was phenomenal.
They got up there. They Ezra and Sabine found themselves struggling and getting their asses whooped. And this was after Ezra constructed a new lightsaber, so they all had lightsabers. Ezra's lightsaber looks just like Kanan's now. But they got up there. They were getting their ass handed to them by the Death Troopers. When Sabine, for the first time, called upon the Force in actuality, it actually happened.
Yep.
And honestly, there are going to be people that are upset about that, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's pretty fucking cool. Like, that's not just me being a Rebels fan. That's just cool. Like, there's a morality, there's a theme to that. There's a message. And then they killed the Death Troopers because they like cut off their heads. Sabine summoned her lightsaber to her, it's her lightsaber. Ezra said it was hers. Summoned her lightsaber to her. Killed her Death Trooper, killed the one that was attacking Ezra. So the Chimera started leaving. Meanwhile, Ahsoka and Morgan were just getting up to the top, surrounded by these stormtroopers. Sabine, your Rebels fans would recognize this, but they did a slingshot where Ezra ran, and at the peak of his fall, Sabine supported him and pushed him even further.
Was that in Clone Wars too? Like once?
I think so. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That sounds right. Anakin and Ahsoka probably did it.
Yeah, it was on Geonosis. That's what I remember.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. But Ezra got onto the ship, and then Sabine turned around and saw that Ahsoka was about to die, and Ezra was like, "Come on, like, we gotta fucking do this." So Ahsoka is literally about to die at the hands of Morgan Elsbeth when Sabine helps her out. She stayed back, didn't go on the Chimera, and helped Ahsoka.
Yes.
So together they ended up defeating Morgan, and they ended up fleeing the tower because the tower was also getting rained upon by fire. They decided to just fucking destroy it.
Yeah, when I saw they defeated, I was like, "Let's go!"
Yeah.
Yes.
Ezra did what he's best at, and he killed stormtroopers and took their fucking armor.
Yep.
So we ended the season with the Chimera taking off in the hyperspace ring. Ezra returned to a Alliance base or New Republic base, I guess. Met up with Hera and Chopper.
That was a harrowing experience.
Jesus fucking Christ, Matthew. Get the fuck out of here.
Now they see me how I'm disappointed I am in Matthew. I'm covering my eyes.
Not on the TV reviews!
Exactly. No.
Come on!
Hang your heads in shame.
You should be hanging yours!
That's strike 3, dude.
I'm gonna get some. Never mind.
Yeah, I said.
Gavin can mute your mic at any point. I hope you know that. And it's easy enough to pick out your fucking cord.
You know, one of these days, we're going to have to turn your mic down during this TV show reviews with more of your bad puns,
Oh my
right?
God.
Every pun will just slowly decrease. The
Yeah,
volume,
just-
very slightly.
Yeah. I have a
Just a
stopwatch,
whisper by the
remember?
That's how we left off with Thrawn and Ezra. They both returned to the galaxy that we know and love. Meanwhile, Ahsoka and Sabine were left down on the planet in a galaxy far, far away with the Noti. And that's when we get one of the final shots. And it was of Anakin as a Force ghost in his Revenge of the Sith robes.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way that we got it in Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
And that was the end of the first season. Oh. And something I called out early in the fucking show. Mariah fucking showed up finally. I also forgot to mention, Balin finds his way to like a Mount Rushmore, basically, of the father, sister, and brother, but the sister was broken off.
Yeah.
So we're getting more Mortis content soon.
Yes.
Oh, and we got to see Hayden Christensen for one final
That's
time.
what I said.
Yeah.
Get it together, John.
God, you butthole.
I didn't hear you say Hayden Christensen.
I
You said
said we got a
Anakin.
final shot of Anakin.
Don't you mean
Well,
Who do you think I meant? Matt Lanter?
don't you mean butt nugget?
Yikes.
It's
That
it's so not up my fucking alley
it's the
to
same
use a
thing,
PG
no matter what
insult.
it is.
But that was
so
such a
funny,
good one.
It was.
But yeah, that's where we left off for season 1. I can't wait for fucking season 2, especially since we're going to be learning more about Mortis.
I was just
Yeah.
about to ask if there's going to be a season 2 because there better
There
be.
has
Has to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they can't just left it like that, even though
They won't.
it was a great finale.
Well, and you got to think it's Disney. They're not going to let go of new blossoming IP either.
No, they won't.
It's Star Wars. It's one of their moneymakers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like their only moneymaker at this point. Let's be honest.
Yeah, Marvel's not doing it too
Yeah,
hot.
It's not really
Yeah.
at all.
Well, like
Unfortunately.
it's
Yeah,
Have
I've
you
got a
seen their
hot.
new animated movies?
Huh?
Have you seen their new animated movies they've been releasing?
not yet. I haven't checked out Elemental.
Don't.
Yeah. No.
Hey, I love Elemental.
Don't.
Gavin, go for it. Oh,
It's bad.
It's a little bit out of my
Oh,
element.
That's all I'm gonna
Gavin.
say. As long
Oh no!
Oh.
don't.
I'm disappointed in you.
No, the next confirmed time that we get at least a character from Ahsoka is Dave Filoni's movie. But that's not until 2028. Or 2026, I think.
Oh, okay.
Well,
That's not until 2026.
since we're doing a Star Wars episode right now, we should probably say the Acolyte trailer is going to drop probably in the next few weeks.
I'm so ready for that.
I need it.
The full thing leaked. So Disney,
Really?
yeah, Disney had to remove it. A lot of people seen it. So that's why I think it's coming out in the next few weeks because it's already been leaked.
If it's already leaked, yeah, there's no point in holding on to it.
Right.
All I know about it is the fact that Vanessa Rowe shows up in it.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Yeah, I seen the leaked trailer description. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah,
I'm so
I
ready.
think I read something online. It said they accidentally leaked something.
It wasn't an accident. It was one of the fans that leaked it.
Mhm.
Oh well. Still, that's boy. You want to ruin a surprise, fans?
But-
Gee,
Yeah.
thanks.
That's
what
an
we do
issue. That's an issue that I have with the fandom is leaks.
Yeah.
I want to be fucking surprised sometimes.
That's why Disney's gonna have to release the trailer soon because a lot of people have already seen it,
Right.
and who knows how many people
Oh,
saved.
I haven't even seen it. I was even
Well,
unaware it was out.
Yeah, it leaked and Disney got it down real quick. But how many people saved it before it dropped?
Right.
And are gonna
Recorded or
re-upload it.
something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm guessing by my birthday the trailer's gonna drop on November 2nd.
Yeah, I'd assume.
see that.
I'd assume the only thing they're waiting for now is if they're doing minor alterations that
Right.
they either want to make it different so that like, oh, you saved it, but it doesn't matter because it's missing this scene, or
Right. Yeah.
you know, just little stuff that they think they may be able to hide out in the corner they didn't want to reveal so quickly, stuff like that.
Yeah. Apparently there's an Acolyte trailer that's leaked, and
Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew, and a snippet of Andor season 2 that they first footage they shot.
Mm.
And there's another fly. I think I see it on John's head.
Squirrel.
Where? Actually, that kind of reminds me of that scene from Up. I love that dog when he said, "Squirrel, hi there." But yeah, what I was gonna say though, yeah, that was a fantastic final episode.
Absolutely.
I loved it. The acting was, as always, fantastic.
I hate that it ended on a cliffhanger, though.
I personally loved the way it ended, honestly.
Money's got to make money.
You shut up.
I didn't want them to get left behind.
You shut up. Get the fuck out of here.
The fly's on your head now.
No, it's not.
It was, yeah. It was on top of your headphones.
Come here.
Well, people, you got to see the most interesting thing that probably bores you out is a fly.
I don't know, it's pretty fly.
Shut up! Stay quiet! No more pod! You realize I already start the stopwatch, right?
I don't think he cares.
This podcast is pretty buzzing.
Yeah.
There we go!
Not my own blood.
Oh my gosh!
You were the chosen one!
Wow, Gavin, that actually was. A
I
good
guess
one.
now you are the disowned one.
You were meant to bring balance to the Force, not destroy it. Or
Your
balance to the
new
podcast.
empire.
Listen, I am your father.
Republic to democracy.
I am the Senate.
We're just all out of fucking whack with our
Wait, we love Star Wars, guys. We love Star Wars.
Not only that, but I love Ewan McGregor. He's absolutely top 10 actors of all time for me.
Fuck. Get back here, some.
Dylan's really trying to tap that thing.
Courtesy tap.
But I was going to tell you, yeah, you're right. I mean, Ewan McGregor as a whole, he's a fantastic actor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I personally love him as the villain in the Birds of Prey film.
Yep.
I loved him as a villain in
Yeah,
that one.
that was the biggest thing I wanted more of was his black mask.
We do need more, yeah. It's not going to happen now.
Well, yeah.
Is there going to be a Obi-Wan season 2?
No.
Ewan McGregor's up for it.
I'm saying,
He's saying that if the fans give enough of an outpour, we might get it.
I think the biggest
Okay,
thing is
but-
trying to find, like, just to fit in, because, I mean, the whole point of it was to kind of give a little backstory and a little more flourish of story between him delivering, and, developing, and it kind of closed itself out. It kind of, to where there's a few more stuff, there's a few more that we could have gotten, for sure, but it left me wanting more from Ewan McGregor, absolutely, and more
Yeah.
Obi-Wan, but not
The story
from a
wouldn't be
story
essential.
standpoint. Right. Yeah, to where I feel like they'd be struggling to really find, like, more to do without making it feel forced.
Right.
Unfortunately.
I'd honestly be fine with that. I would be 100% fine with it.
As long as they can make it work.
One thing that they wanted to, one thing that a lot of fans wanted to adapt, especially like the people that love Legends, was the Tusken Raider ties in the Kenobi book.
Mhm.
Honestly, they could find a way to make that work for a season 2.
Well, and there's plenty of Legends. I mean, like, it is kind of funny because right now, when Disney acquired Lucasfilms, they pretty much shut down all of Legends. But it's almost like Dave Filoni and crew are, like, determined to, one by one, make every Legend canon.
Okay, okay. So, I want to make this fucking clear. I think that I've said it before. Legends was never canon.
True.
Never.
True.
But the thing about it being called Legends now is the fact that it's technically canon. Because Legends was always now in universe.
Mhm.
But before it was just like D canon. It wasn't actual
was, but it
canon, but
wasn't.
it like
It was-
ran parallel.
Right, it was like meta-canon almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now in universe, it's always just been stories that people told.
Sure.
And as we've heard Ahsoka say, there's always a bit of truth in Legends.
Mhm.
So that's why we're getting these nuggets, is
Right.
because like these stories are true to a certain extent.
Mhm.
Right.
At least in the fact of like this person existed,
Right.
or like this person was constantly talked about to be this giant person, like Mara
Right.
Jade. I'm sure we're going to get something nodding to Mara Jade. Probably not Mara Jade herself,
Crap.
Sure.
but just like a mention.
I wanted Emma Stone to play her.
Honestly,
I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it. Yeah. I think my biggest legend is one that everybody has, but I want Sam Witwer as Starkiller. It won't happen unless it's in animated form, and the longer they wait, they're gonna have to do it in animated form. Because no offense to the guy, but he's not as young as he was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the graphics of the first games, you could be like, oh, well, he wasn't as.
Sure. But, and I do want to address when it came to the rumors of Starkiller before it was revealed who
That Marek
or
was
what-
just
yeah,
a fart. you
right?
know?
Yeah, yeah. I tweeted about it, but like a lot of people were going to seeing him in the credits, Sam Witwer in the credits, and they were like, oh well, it's probably him because he's in the credits. Why else would he? Well, like we got to remember, Sam Witwer is one of the biggest voice acting talents in Star Wars.
Yes.
Period.
He was
I mean,
Insidious.
he was
was Maul.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He has been so many people to where him not being in the credits is more conspicuous than him being in the credits at this
Right.
point. To where like if he's not in the credits working alongside some project, you got to be thinking, okay, what's he working on? What is taking his focus away? You know what I mean?
Okay, but let's be 100%. It was Starkiller that arrested Andor in season 1 of Andor because that was Sam Witwer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same kind of thing.
Mhm.
Like you were saying, it's the same thing. Like it's literally just him
Right.
contributing his voice to Star Wars,
Right.
something that he loves doing.
Yeah. And the fans love.
I got a quick question, and I'm hoping that Disney actually will do this. Would you be on board for a Darth Vader TV show?
No,
Why not?
because
I personally would
we've
love to
already
see
had his story told almost about as much as it can be.
Them bringing back Darth Vader would feel the exact same as bringing back in Darth Sidious.
Yeah,
I honestly,
There was no need, in my opinion.
I would rather have a prequel, a Darth Maul Apprentice series
yes.
before the
That would
Phantom
be pretty
Menace.
cool. That would be pretty good.
I want to explore other Sith. If Acolyte ended up exploring Darth Sidious when he was younger
Mm-hmm.
and when he was studying underneath Darth Plagueis, like just like a brief mention,
Darth Plagueis the Wise.
even if we get a little bit of it,
I want Nihilus.
I would be super fine with that.
Has it
We're gonna
been-
end up getting Darth Nihilus too at
So,
some fucking point.
I'm ready for Darth Nihilus, dude. He is.
Could you imagine a horror series based on Darth Nihilus?
Well, and Acolyte's supposed to be darker in tone, almost like they've gone on record. I can't remember when or where. It was a long.
They've been
time
saying
ago.
it like this entire time.
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
been saying that it's gonna be. It may not be directly horror,
But it's gonna
it
be
will
darker,
have a lot
yeah.
of horror elements.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's one of the reasons I'm so excited for it is because
Mhm.
not only are they branching out into something brand new for Star Wars, but just like you're exploring the dark side of the Sith, the dark side of the Force in general for the first time in a while.
Well, it's not technically brand new. There were some horror elements in Clone Wars and even Ahsoka with the zombies
true.
and
Although it wasn't necessarily like it wasn't in the same degree.
right.
I
Yeah, like,
feel like
it's
the
supposed to be more
horror elements
consistent.
were a little more just like
Sparse,
kind of a perk
yeah.
and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
sparse. So where this is like they're directly, purposefully
Right.
going headfirst into this. So.
Because I'd say the Clone Wars zombies one was pretty scary.
Oh yeah.
There was some
Yeah.
jump
No, for sure.
scares and
And they said that was a kids show.
yeah, really.
Right.
It's a show all about war crimes.
Right?
Oops.
We can't bring up war crimes and not talking about Chopper though.
Yeah.
He's my favorite little terrorist.
I mean, I just thought it would be cool, have
His
origin
body
story.
counts what
I just thought it would be
50,000.
cool, get a Darth Vader origin story. I wouldn't have liked that. But.
We have an origin story for Darth
It's
Vader.
called the prequel trilogy.
Yeah, the movies that you rated the lowest on your fucking list.
Okay.
What? Say I'm wrong. Say I'm fucking wrong. You can't.
We'll get back to that another time.
What's there to
for
get
that?
back to?
I won. That's what it
You
is.
did not win. It's
I
just
did
your
though.
stage.
You don't want to debate about it. I won. Mark that on the board. Me, however many, John 0.
My parents disagree. It's just that we disagree.
You can disagree all they want, but I've still won every single argument.
Oh no, you did
I have.
not. That's
You can disagree and be wrong all you want.
Do you guys have any final thoughts?
Well, my question is how would you where would you place them on the live action Star Wars TV show? Because I have it at 2, just below The Mandalorian season 2.
I've probably got mid.
Yeah, I'd say mid.
I don't like rating, like, in terms of, like, was this good or not? Because it's always subjective.
Sure.
And I've made that known. This had some of the best live action television Star Wars that we've ever had.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of it.
It had the best cinematography, definitely.
If we're going by like one season, because Mandalorian is the only one that we currently have multiple seasons of.
Right.
If we're going by the first season of everything, it's not number one. If
Yeah,
we're talking about
yeah.
quality, because Mandalorian season 1
Absolutely.
still has that. If not
Absolutely.
Andor,
Yeah.
Yeah, if not,
it's one of those two.
I would honestly rank Mando season 2, Andor season 1, Mando season 1, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, Mando season 3, Boba Fett last.
And doing the different.
that's because Boba Fett was like Mando.
Light.
Like
Yeah.
it was like
The,
Mando
fir-
2.5.
the first
or
episode made me
3.5.
fall asleep. I was literally
Boba Fett?
Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, because I was thinking, how is this so boring? I don't understand.
Well,
It had one of my favorite Star Wars TV show scenes with the train sequence, but it was not that good of a show.
The thing about Book of Boba Fett is the fact that they just greenlit the show knowing that people like Boba Fett.
Right.
That's
Without
all
actually
that it
thinking
was.
of
There
what
was
to do
no
with it.
actual
Yeah.
real story for Boba Fett. And like they created a great one in my opinion.
Yeah.
The story for him fits like
Right. Objectively, it is a
it
good
makes total
story.
sense with
Yeah.
what we'd seen in Mandalorian.
For pulling it
It
out
was
of their
fine.
butts, they did good.
Right.
Absolutely.
We just didn't get the Boba we wanted.
Yeah, like it's not a prequel.
Right.
Like if we had a Tales of Jedi sort of show where it's just Boba Fett going around, or even just the bounty hunters in general.
Yeah.
Because right now we have the bounty hunters comic line,
Mhm.
but that starts Zero BBY.
Right. Right.
I was gonna say that would be a good TV show. Would be like a bounty hunters guild with like Bosk and Dengar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because when it comes to Boba, we have Django dying in Attack of the Clones.
Mm.
And then
It's
we have
the
Boba.
4 or 5 episodes of
Yeah.
Clone Wars,
Yeah.
and then he doesn't pop up again on screen until Empire,
Empire, yeah.
Yeah, Empire.
or well, technically New Hope now,
Oh,
because he's there with Jabba.
okay.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
But it definitely
so-
showed.
But either way, there's a lot of time that you could fill in there.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it
My-
definitely showed in the Book of Boba Fett that Disney, they just did not care. When they put Mandalorian in the Boba Fett episode, they said they were the best episodes. They were not prepared. Disney
okay.
was not prepared.
So my thing about that is they could have thrown Mandalorian in there and just kept it Mandalorian.
Mhm.
Don't introduce Grogu. Don't play into any of that.
Right.
We could have just had the Mandalorian episode be what it was, and then like he ends up arriving back at Mos Espa, and Fennec shows up and is like, "Hey, we need your help."
Right. Like, it really did feel like they started the show, realized, oh, there's not a lot of people that are enjoying this as much as Mando. How do we boost these ratings? Let's put Mando in.
So freaking stupid.
That's. I want to say again, I'm not a huge Rogue One fan. I loved Andor. I thought it was great. It's not one of my favorites,
Mhm.
but like I still liked it a lot.
Mhm.
Like I appreciate for same for Rogue One. I appreciate everything that's contributed to the Star Wars universe. I like the storytelling. It was great. Again, not one of my favorites, but I put Andor above Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
In my favorites list, not me like ranking like this is the best
Sure,
one.
sure.
Right.
Because Ahsoka's at the top of my
I would have done the
favorites
same
list.
thing. I put Andor way over the
Well,
Book
and
of
to
Boba
be
Fett.
fair, I still feel like Disney right now is still like they're not at the point now where truthfully we can rank all that objectively purely because they're growing with everything they're doing. They're still feeling out their Star Wars live action stuff because they did their Western with Mando and a little bit with Boba Fett. And they're going to their horror with the Acolyte. And I mean, we've seen how far they've gone with action, their action dynamics and choreography and everything like that within Ahsoka. So, like,
Andor's more of a political thriller.
Yeah.
to where we don't have enough consistency, and it's not a bad thing by any means, because like everything that's drastic so far has turned out pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Like the only thing that we've gotten that was okay was Book of Boba Fett, and it was another branch within the same genre. So everything that they've initially broken into a genre with is actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
So there's not enough consistency to really be able to rate them because they're still growing with their live action, finding out what fans like, and it definitely feels like they're still trying to balance how much to listen to the audience. Because although it's very healthy for, especially for Disney right now at this point in time, to listen to the audience, but they can't listen to it so much to the point to where halfway through a project, if they're hearing they don't really like it, they drastically change things to try and make it a little better. And
Yeah.
Because then it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So just with how they are at the moment, you can't really get a true ranking because every single thing they've done, we've seen growth, we've seen things change and get better, and some things get a little worse, but they pick it right back up. So until we get that consistency, I don't really think we can truly get any ranking done because they're still improving so much per project.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm eager to see where we go from here.
Yep.
If we get a season 2 of Book of Boba Fett, I'm not going to complain
Right.
because I think that now we've had that story set up. I think that they can go a little far from there. I don't think we're going to get a season 2
No.
I don't think so.
because they set it up where he's just going to be not like the warlord.
Right, it's going to be
He's
separate
he's just going to be the
project.
daimyo.
Yeah, it's going to be a separate project.
I say, if you're going to do
Yeah.
a season 2, make it more action-packed.
Yeah,
That's
I
all.
don't think
That's
we're
all
ever
I'm
going to get
asking.
it.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I don't
either.
He's going to show up every once in a while. He's going to show up in the Dave Filoni movie. That's
Right.
probably just going to be it.
Right.
He's going to be like Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll show
Which,
up
if they learned
periodically.
anything about Nick Fury, don't give them their own spin-off title.
I
'Cause
haven't watched it yet. I'm going to.
I don't remember any of it.
I do.
that's
I do.
it wasn't awful. I know this isn't Marvel. This isn't a Marvel podcast episode, so I'm not going to go fully into it because there's no point. It'll be addressed eventually.
Well, we can address it with what we record next.
Yeah.
That's
Right,
true.
Right.
Because we're wrapping this one up real quick.
Right. But just don't take what they did with Nick Fury with Boba Fett or any other characters. Once you start to dwindle out a character, let them be.
Mm.
It's the same thing with a lot of people want Tony Stark back and Robert Downey Jr. We love Robert Downey Jr.
Yes.
We love Iron Man, but let a character die.
Absolutely.
Especially with how well done his character was.
His
Yes.
story is over.
Right. Same thing with Sidious. Same thing with Vader. Their stories are over. And it's okay to let them be over.
Exactly.
Because that's how the message is sent across. If you keep bringing it up, the message you originally had always gets perverted in some way. Because now you're bringing the character back. So not a whole lot of the stuff ahead of time always matters anymore. So it's just... let a character die. Let it
Let it
go
go.
out in glory rather than struggle to survive in a
I knew you
multimedia
I knew you were
streaming
going to do that,
platform.
Matthew. I knew it. I knew you were going to say, let it go.
Let the past die. Kill it if you have to.
There's another fly.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking pissing me off. All right, I think that's all we had for this episode.
Until next time, Star Wars fans.
Until next time.
May the force be with you.
It's May the Nerd be with you.
God, John, stop stealing people's shticks!
One job.
All right, bye.